Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to the podcast brought to you by the ANOUVUE Collective, where we're going to talk about everything film related, from script to screen and anything else in between. Stay tuned.
All right, welcome to another ANOUVUE podcast, and today our guest is George Malcolm Walker. I don't know if he's related to Rome Walker, aka Marlon Walker, but we'll find out. I'm shaking his head and saying no, so I guess not. You might need to do some research because the two of them look alike, you know.
Yo,
You think
I've
of the
heard that
ball and the
before.
beard? See it there? See it there?
Heard that
See
before.
it there? See it there? DNA test. Anyway.
Hey,
George.
might get more and modern problems. Our father.
Yeah, you see it. All right. So George, you know, I've seen your work over the years. I'm not sure how many people know you. Would you regard yourself as an emerging film creative, emerging cinematographer, or would you refer to yourself as a cinematographer, seasoned in the business?
Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure it out, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to choose one, like the weight of being too talented and knowing too much areas.
But tell us all of the things you do, because I know you for film photography. You've done some very good cinematography and color grading on some films that I saw in the JCDC competition. So give us a little bit of background of your creative experience.
Yeah, so I'll adapt the emerging film creator for now. So I started out mainly in cinematography and just some other areas of post production. So cinematography, and of course doing editing, as well as doing some scoring, as well as doing some coloring, that sort of thing. So that's how it started. I was getting invited to like work on projects as, the person with the camera, and then doing all the edits afterwards. Then of course, as I did more, I've always had ideas and always wanted to create my own stories as well. Wasn't brave enough to get into all of that. But yes, I started to write maybe like 2 years after I really shot and won like a couple of awards with like a big film, which was like Airport. That was back 20, forgot when that was, but Airport was like a big catalyst for getting more into even like writing and directing. Yeah, so I think what helps as well
And
with
Airport I think was also a big boss for Danger Harrison.
I mean,
because
lead actress.
she was coming up in popularity, but I think that film really showcased her acting chops.
Yes.
Especially in a short film. I don't know if that was the first short film she was in.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, because like that was a JCDC winning film. I went on to win like a number of awards in Gutfest and in Lignum Vitae and like a number of other awards and recognitions.
A number? How much is the number? Because I say go up on stage about 200 times, bro. You might as well just sit up there,
Well, we're not counting, we just celebrate and be grateful. but yeah, but I also have like background in music, so
I noticed because you said scoring that I never knew that about you. I didn't know.
Yeah. So I'm a self-taught keyboard player. That comes through like church and so on. So I have a really good appreciation for music, and also like teach youths at like my church as well. Teach them as well like drums and guitars as well. So I also started like a label. So I was doing music production and doing like sound engineering, recording engineering. Yeah, and then that led me into like mixing, mastering music. So I have a certain appreciation for like that process as well. So yeah, so that led me into like even like trying to focus into film scoring at one point, but like the other things were just calling also. So there's that side. So yeah, that's mainly the skill set. A big part of what I do now as well is also graphics. So I do graphic design. I've been doing that. That's probably one of the skill that I've been using the most. So I do a number of design and stuff. And of course that comes in useful when I'm designing like film posters and any sort of edits there. So yeah. busy with the skill, with gaining the skills.
You say you had a label. What was the label called? And you signed any artists?
Yeah, man. So Edgelights Records. Yeah. So signed 1, 2, 3, 4 artists. And I produce music for them. I help them write, help them release music, take care of distribution. I was really interested in the business of the music, so I was taking care of everything. Yeah.
Nice.
Don't do that as much now because film is a stronger pull, of course. But yeah, the love is still there, of course.
Have you ever put any of those artists in any of your film?
I might have put 1 or 2 in a film or a music video. Yeah, so definitely like a film I worked on, Cool Breeze. There's a Russ in there in the opening scene that he's one of the artists that I work with. Yeah, so that's Nari Berry,
Cool.
amazing writer, and he's amazing at writing and shooting as well. So yeah, longtime friend and creative collaborator.
So I know that you've won the JCDC short film, or fewer short film competition a number of years in a row. Off the top of my head, it feels like 3 years in a row. Are you planning to enter again this year, or you're moving up in competition, or you're just taking a break from short films this year?
Yo, this year I gave myself a challenge. I gave myself a challenge this year to enter doing a documentary. So actually working on a documentary for that competition this year. So yeah, I can tell you the name. It's called Lick, Lick. It's in production right now. So yeah, I still want to exhaust all the categories that exist in the competition.
Pastor, the name,
The title.
thank you.
Listen to the film. No,
No,
listen to
man.
the name and make any judgment, all right?
Pastor, the name that I forgot change, you see me? But wait, you do say the name of your company or your music company is Edgelight?
Yeah, edge lights. So like rim lighting. Yeah.
That rim lighting, so it still has to do with film. That's crazy.
Yeah. So what happens is that so I own a media company as well that I produce.
So it's basically like you have Edgelight Sound and Edgelight Media, basically.
Yeah, Edge Lights Media started first. Edge Lights Media Limited, that's the digital media agency. Then I went into music, Edge Lights Records.
So
Yeah.
the next thing is, before Kevin jump back in, you see, we've spoken to Dario Shields, right? And Dario Shields is a prolific like filmmaker.
Yeah.
Like if he has a good cinematographer, like Jesus, him run the place, right?
Real.
So what I said about that with you is you have entered JSDI as it sound like Kevin just said a couple of times, and you've
JCD.
basically sorry, wrong one. Kevin worked for one, he doesn't work for the other. But you have won it a couple of times. It sounds like a bunch. So it's like you almost mastered a level there. So to now, yes, let me do documentary. But I don't want to call it, I don't think it's even a it is a competition. It's not a film festival. And I think they fund it too. They give you the money for the film.
Yeah, well, this year they definitely provided a grant for it. The previous years, it wasn't funded through them.
So question,
Providing a grant this year.
but question, did the competition start earlier from you have to have a pitch and then have to pick your pitch?
Yeah.
You have to win so the competition starts from early than from the script phase.
Definitely like June, July.
Oh, so
In treatments for ideas. Yeah.
oh, so you have to kind of gone through the script phase first and win the script phase. Oh, so
So they require treatment first. You have to pass that round, see the treatment good. Next level is you have to submit the screenplay. They review that and then select a top 10 from the
Wow.
script.
Okay.
And then that top 10 is the persons who get the grant to produce the films.
So it's not even like propeller where you just have an idea and you tell them the idea, you basically write a treatment and then you have to write the script. And then if they, it's like if they like your idea is when they tell you to write the script.
Yeah.
Right?
Pre-production started. We're in the process of.
Oh, so this, I mean, okay, so your winnings are not like you don't deserve them, but it's much harder than I thought it was then. I was just thinking for the music side is you just write a song and you put it in and they choose it, right? That's how it go, right? But
Yeah.
for JSDI, not JSDI, I
Yeah,
keep on saying
for the song competition in
for the
JCDC.
JCDC, right? But for film, it's not that way. It's like for the film, if you were to do it like music, you'd have to write. You'd have to say, "I have an idea of your song, and this is what it's about, and this is who I want upon it," and then you go. Or them say, "Okay, we like that. Write the song now. Make us see if we like the song when you don't write it." And then, okay, when you write the song, give me a demo, and then record it, make we hear it, and then mix it. You know, we are going through that on the film side, but the music side is just create the song, make we hear it. If it good, then we put it in. You move forward. Okay.
Yeah. No man, it's an intense competition, and like I heard that they have a lot of entries this year. So like getting through and be like in the top 10, I was like, yo, that's a big reason to celebrate.
Okay. Well, okay. I thought the way it sounded a while ago, it sounded like it was much easier. Like, when you enter a film festival and like you just keep winning, it's just like, okay, many for step up my game, but it's the procedure is a way bigger procedure. Forget you.
It is man. It is like, but yeah, the passion trumps the struggles,
How did you get into that though? Like, how did you? So it's crazy. Why do I keep saying JSDI? Are they able to drop that money? But right, but JCDC has been there, and I did hear about them wanting films and ideas and so on, but for some reason I don't know why that competition doesn't stand out, unless it's standing out to other people a lot, but it doesn't stand out a lot when I'm gonna hear people attacking that.
A part of the thought behind the initial initiative was that they wanted to focus on amateur filmmakers, first time filmmakers. So that's how it started. So it was targeting a certain niche in the Jamaican sense, and so from there they created more opportunities for returning filmmakers to enter other categories as it happened over time. Like a big deal with the JCDC Film Festival is that a couple of the winning films from past years, they were featured in Carifesta in Barbados this year. So like a couple of them, there was on the roster showing multiple times. So the films from that initiative making it to the world. And I know of other instances where it's being shown in the States, in the US, at like Jamaica film nights, that sort of thing. So yeah, it started out as first time filmmakers, get your phone, let's do something, but it has grown into something much bigger now, which is great to see. Now that we even have like a grant, like have to celebrate that sort of growth.
Yeah, and just to add a little bit of background for Lecky. Yeah, I think the reason why you don't feel it as much is because I think people look at the JCDC competition as something a little old fashioned and when they think about the whole culture of it, I think they think stage play, because JCDC is more traditionally known for singing and performing on stage, acting and performing on stage, poetry, etc., etc. So when people hear films, and then of course, it's like George said, they were focusing on novice talent, upcoming talent, emerging talent, etc. I think a lot of persons just think of it as, it's kind of like a high school competition or something like that. It's not that big. They don't take it seriously. But over the years, it has gotten more serious. I know, Malcolm, you and Joel Miller have won quite a few. I think Joel Miller is usually the writer for the films that you do, etc. Yeah. And he gave a lecture yesterday at UA. Exactly. So because he's a part of the UA residency program. So, things are happening for the persons. And then, of course, Danger. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I knew about Danger from before your film, but after your film, it's like she blew up because
Yeah.
that film, it was one. Danger is a presence on screen. She's somebody that I've worked with her before because I worked with her on Bala season 3, but I personally would love to direct her one day.
Yeah.
But this, you see Danger, she's a presence on screen, and then on top of it, you and it now makes sense because you say the music. You added that oh gosh,
Yeah,
sister
the film
sister
nor
bam bam bam
yeah,
bam.
exactly. Slow
I
down
did this,
reverb.
yeah, I slow it down when the girl got drugged, and it was like, yo. So you were using up our music, and the film just felt Jamaican,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I don't mean, and when I say feel Jamaican, I want to make sure people don't mistake it for me saying it's low quality, right?
Mm.
I mean, it feels Jamaican in terms of it's a Jamaican story, because that's the thing I like about JCDC. It challenges you to use Jamaican proverbs, and in so doing, it it forces you to inject Jamaican culture into the film.
Yeah.
And for those who haven't seen the film, you can see it on YouTube. So that's another thing that JCDC does, which should give it more publicity. But I'm not sure. Maybe JCDC needs to ramp up their marketing, and ramp up the way the films are shown. But you can watch the films on YouTube. A lot of people always complain, "Well, I see this film festival and I see this competition, but where do I see the film afterwards?" JCDC put them on YouTube. But the point I'm making is that when you watch the films, you see the culture coming out into universal stories, because in that particular story, there's a girl who gets a chance to go abroad. She's supposed to go do her get her to her visa interview, and her mother is saying to her, "Yo, don't tell your friend."
Yeah.
Right? The right hand must know what the left hand do, right? And she go tell her friend, because she say, "Oh, mommy, just being stupid, whatever." But the friend, she really want to go abroad and can't go abroad because she not have no visa and whatever. And basically, Danger drug the girl and go to her interview and get through and cut. Right?
Exactly. And that even that was set in like in the time of like a COVID pandemic as well. So it's like COVID come, her business gets shut down. Now she had to like find a way to pivot. So I mean, we're pulling on just everything that was happening, of course. And of course you see the name screams Jamaican. Airport, kept it with the H.
Right.
And there's the layers of that as well. And the shop is called Airport. So like Joel came up with the name and the story there, which is just amazing.
Right. So I think it's definitely underrated competition. But at the same time, I think, well, they do show the films. Do they show the films at the cinema?
They do, yeah. They do.
Yes.
The last year, I think they adjusted a little bit. They adjusted like the showing of it. But yeah, in previous years they have.
Yeah, and I think part of the challenge is that they show the films in the small theater at Sovereign, because it's the most affordable cinema to rent. The other cinemas are pretty pricey to rent. But that limits it, because if you had the bigger cinema, you could invite so much more people, invite the whole of Jafta, invite the whole of WIF, invite, all the different places, Ministry of Culture, etc., so that, a wide variety of people get to see it. The other thing that I would suggest for JCDC, if they are listening, is, because it's expensive to put it in the cinemas, I would try to strike up a deal with Palace to showcase one short film before a movie every week.
Yeah.
I know if not, and I mean, I know
we said that from long time for every short film.
I mean, the only challenge is that I know they can't afford to show anything longer than 8 minutes long. But I'm sure quite a few of the films are 8 minutes long or less. And so they should really.
The nature of like the JCDC competition is like it's 5 minutes. Like this year they modified it and they give you up to 10 minutes. All the previous ones in the past, 5 minutes. That's
right.
Higher.
Yeah. So they could
possibility for that.
So I think if they showed it, if especially if it's a case where they don't want to show it all the time, choose a month. Maybe the month when the competition finish, or February when it's more of a cultural month for Jamaica, heroes, we don't know, whatever, but take a month and just say, yeah, man, one film each day before a film, a big movie, so that Jamaicans see it. They come to the movies, them see it, them talk about it. Hey, man, did see this little film before the movie starts, name airport, I think that would give it some more visibility. In Jamaica, I can guarantee you, like, no matter how popular somebody thinks something is, the vast majority of people have never heard of it. I've gone to Gatfest Ram, and every year people are still saying, what is Gatfest? I never hear about it yet. I go to Shotlist Ram. Yeah, and then when you tell people about Shotlist, what is Shotlist? I've never heard about it. It's so difficult to put eyes on the creative industry. You have to find a way that you put it in front of people's face all the time. It can't just be for the few. Like tomorrow, I am going to Skylark Film Festival. And enough people don't know what Skylark Film Festival is. And Skylark is a big festival. When you go there, the beach full of people.
Right. Yeah, man, I've been and I was like, yo, how much just I find out about this? I went like 2 years ago. It's like, yo, this been around. I never hear about this yet. And then and then there's more coming up, and hopefully they get more visibility, which I think they deserve. Like even I know Black River Film Fest, like those need more visibility for sure.
Yeah, man, definitely. So yeah, but regardless of the publicity that JCDC gets, what I want to find out from you, because it's another thing that people don't understand about film festivals and film competitions in Jamaica, and I try to tell people all the time, it's hard for people to see the value. And I think the creative industries on a whole is a type of industry where the value can only be experienced, right? It is very hard to articulate the experience, right? Because somebody asked me the other day, when I showed them a flyer for Gatfest, they were like, so what you win when you win something? And I saw a trophy and them kiss them teeth. And I'm like, yo, why you kiss your teeth like that? Like, things come out of it. And so my question to you now, George, from each JCDC competition or the JCDC competition on a whole, what has it done for you?
Yeah. I mean, a number of things. So it started at airport in terms of like that first win. And like there was a lot of publicity. Shout out to JCDC for the publicity that came with that. So like the announcement and the competition, it was in all the local papers, JIS, and of course like tabloids, like everything all the papers took it up, and we were on local TV, Smile Jamaica, and then from there it went on to being the films went on to being showcased in TVJ's local filmmaker showcase. So yes, it started with that film, and then it's like catapulting more opportunities to work on more films. Of course, some of those fall throughs, maybe be like, hey, yo, I need to work on the story of my life. I needed to shoot those fall through, but the more serious ones, of course, just more opportunities to shoot more. Of course, the camera started shooting with airport with, it's not the camera I have now. It's a much more expensive camera. For example, I shot with like a Nikon D55 airport. It was shot with a Nikon D55 that I used to use more for photography. I'm in a position now where I have a FX3 and I can be like, okay, I can do some more higher level stuff. Netflix approved camera.
Wait. Are you saying you stop use the red for the Sony? Yeah, that's for the red for so it's a red camera that no.
It's a red camera now still. That's how it work. That's how it work. But wait, man, shout outs to Nikon. They gave me the start I needed. But like, I'm grateful for Sony.
Nikon, sponsor his red camera, Nikon. Do the right thing.
Of course. But it put me in a position to upgrade like just equipment over time as I get the opportunity to work on more projects. And of course, not even just narrative films. More opportunities came for music videos. There's a couple of them that even propelled me to work on like more commercial stuff as well. So, and even like be a part of working on other podcasts, things like that. So the validation and the proof of the pudding in the work, like that created a number of opportunities. And outside of just like some financial benefits, just the opportunities to like speak at certain places, give back in certain ways, certain classes. I'm well connected with like the VTDI, the Vocational Training Development Institute. I have to say it out because most people don't know VTDI, and so like there are times I've been invited to the like guest lectures in like the digital media classes just to help them with like some talk about like set life and that sort of thing. So yeah, a number of opportunities came just because of that one win and just like stepping up each time, entering more festivals and so on.
And you see, that's what I'm talking about. When I tell people, enter these film competitions, enter these film festivals, the exposure is invaluable. You can't put a dollar figure to it because you couldn't pay for that slot on TVJ, right? You couldn't pay for that slot in Iglina, right? And the jobs that come after, like I think because people only think in numbers, they don't really understand. And maybe if we were better at quantifying things, like maybe if one day, like maybe I should try that, maybe I should like enter competition, win it, and then things that come out of it, I put a dollar figure to it. Like we go, all right, how much it would have cost for that article? If I get it leader, if I sponsor this article, how much it would have cost for go up on TVG at this time? How much did I make off of this job that the man said me see a film I want to hire? And then quantify to say, this opportunity from this competition got me $2 million worth of value, right?
Yeah.
Because, to be on TVJ for 5 minutes in the morning, the last time I checked, it was like 80,000. I am sure it's more now, right? Because that was before pandemic. I'm sure it's like 100 and something now, right? You couldn't pay for the 5 minutes there, right? And people now understand that. They see the trophy and say, all I get is that trophy. It's like, it's not just a trophy.
Never just a trophy, I promise you.
Yeah.
Never just a trophy.
But the thing is, just like you just teach us or me, because I didn't know the procedure you had to go through just to win. Just that alone for me kind of turned me off, because you're telling me, no, I mean, I would still do it, but it turned me off because, as I say, initially, I'm just thinking, I finish a film and I give it to the competition. Right? Or I pitch a film, I pitch a film, I win the film, and then I get to shoot the film and I give it to the competition. I told you that's what I thought it was, where you pitch a film to them and then you get to make the film. They fund the film. But you might tell me, say, it start from the script phase, from just the idea.
Yes.
And then they go up. So that is a bigger deal. That makes you a better filmmaker than anyone else. Because you're going through the whole process and you're learning how to go through the process and what to do in each step of the process and how to make it tighter. And he has done that twice and win multiple times twice. There's a lot of people that's on the road that call themselves filmmakers or they write scripts and they've done films and they've not gone through that type of thing, that rigmarole to make them solid.
And I want to put something out there without because Lecky has an idea. I don't want to expose the idea because I don't know if he wants to expose it, right? As yet. But the JCDC concept is very similar to what Lecky wants to do. And what I mean by that is you don't get to go to JCDC and go, oh yeah, man, I want to shoot this, JCDC says, here are 5 proverbs.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
The words have meaning, right? And I use the word words on purpose. But the words have meaning.
Hey
when
boy,
you read those proverbs.
Hey boy, slow down, Me no lock it in, me no trademark it yet.
Bricks.
No man, do it.
Yeah, I knew that word would trigger you. But anyway, so with JCDC, what it does is now you have these proverbs. I think you get about 5 to choose from. But
Yeah.
basically, you are forced to make a film based on the proverb. Now, what you make is up to you, but the film has to basically embody this proverb. You can choose to tell it in any which way, form, or shape you want to tell it, right? So you have that creative freedom. But what it does is it it actually forces you to put a message in the film, right? So every time you're watching these films, you go, oh, okay, what's the message here? What's the message here? You know, what are they trying to tell me now? I would say, unfortunately, too many people go the route of actually saying what the proverb is in the film, right?
Definitely.
And I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but the way them say it, you're just like, them literally just saying it to tell me that this is the message of the film versus using it in a, like, in Airport, it was used well because the girl about to tell her friend her business and the mother say, about don't make it right and know, don't make it left and know where you're right and I do, you know, right? Don't tell whatever. But some of the other films is like, you're watching the film and you're like, I don't know what possible proverb this could be. And then out of the blue, somebody just blurts out the proverb and you go, well, why did they just say that? You know? But to me, like when you cleverly weave it in and you're telling a story that's just modern, like Airport, you know, it's not an old time something, this is a modern day problem. And you use the proverb in that way, it's like a challenge, you know.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, and I think that's a good challenge for filmmakers. You know, it's like a prompt, so to speak. You know, artists do it all the while. Like in October, in fact, Inktober started yesterday. You have prompts for each day, and each day you get a word, and you have to just draw to that word, right? The JCDC competition is like that. So it forces you to be creative with your writing, forces you to be creative with the shooting, force it to be creative just all around, as opposed to just one willy-nilly idea in your head that probably has no purpose. You know, sometimes you watch a film and you go, what's the purpose of this film? Like, what is this film trying to say?
Right.
You know, with this JCDC competition, I must say, all right, yeah, try to say this and yeah, try to figure out how to say it in a film. That's your challenge.
Yeah, and of course, because it's Jamaican proverbs, it's almost like inherently there has to be like that Jamaican culture, the through line in all of these films.
Right.
Of course, we help just highlighting the culture, of course, through that, which I think is always good. So like that, the basis and the foundation for a competition like that, I think is like, yo, shout outs for like approaching it that way.
Yeah, and I mean, it get people to know the proverbs because I know for me, for years, I'm glad they have books now and the internet because for years I'm just like, yo, where can I find these proverbs? Because like, you know, my granny or my auntie or somebody would just blurt out a proverb. I'm like, I've never heard that proverb before. But are you guys making this up on the spot? Like, where did proverb come from? And how you know the meaning of all of these proverbs? So I'm glad them have that information out there. No, but through these films, it makes it more accessible for Jamaican kids to find out about these proverbs. And the reason why I'm speaking so passionately about proverbs, you know, is because, like, for example, with the Bible, right? Christianity. When you read the Bible, sometimes it don't make no sense to you, right? And, you know, that's why you have to sit down with somebody who understands it better than you to kind of explain these things. And when you read it literally, you're like, what? This don't make no sense. But then when you find out the context and you read it contextually, you're like, oh, and there's a whole section in the Bible that is just parables. And you might say, a lot of people complain, why you not just explain the thing straight? Why you not just say, don't cross the road because it's dangerous? And it's like, the reason being is people naturally don't like listen to people. People naturally want to feel like you're wrong and I am right. But when you do it in a parable now, people stop and go, huh? What that mean? What it mean? And it forces you to have to go figure out what it means.
Yeah.
And in figuring out what it means, you're exploring the problem, you know? So when a man say, oh, don't make your left hand know your right hand, I say, what? But my left hand must know my right hand. I do like them right beside each other. And
that's the idea, them right beside each other. But
right. But then when you find out what it means, guess what happened? The proverb stick in your head. right? The proverb sticking in your head. That's a thing. Right? And that's what you want. You want the proverb to stick in your head because that is easier to remember.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, for real. And it leans into even the element of like storytelling, of telling someone a story versus, just saying, don't do that, giving a rule versus like appreciating a story and the journey that take. So yeah, the great value in that for sure.
Yeah, man. So what's next for George Malcolm?
Oh, a couple of things. I mean, I have a couple of projects actively working on now. Right now, I mean, JCDC is like the major focus. I know like even Gutfest coming up next year. I have like 3 ideas, 2 of them like done already. I'm trying to work on a third one to see if I can enter into Gutfest next year. But I think one of the bigger projects that I want to get off the ground is a feature film that I'm working on.
Something that I got asked next. I was going to say, yo, welcome to the feature film.
That's me I go. Come here and say, all right, you zero the game, yes sir. So what the next step? You're already pushing yourself for the dock, but like
and personally, I don't subscribe to doing more than 5 short films. I feel like, do 5 short films and then go do a feature. Because let me tell you why. A short film obviously takes up less time, less money, less effort than a feature film. But it's still stress. And I find that most of the time, because you're doing a short film, you have to beg favors. Right? You can't pay everybody because nobody's giving you money to do a short film.
Exactly.
And once you use up that favor once or twice, it's hard to call them for your next favor. Right? So my thing is, if you're going to use up favors, you might as well use it on a feature, because at the end of the day, with a short film, you can't sell it. With the feature, you can at least drop it for Amazon. You can talk to Netflix if Netflix wants it. If Netflix don't want it, you can string up a screen and projector and charge some money. And, there are things you can do with it. And there is merit in saying, hey, I've done a feature film. Because if your dream is to become a cinematographer or a director for a feature film, you want Paramount to hire you to do a feature film, you want Lionsgate to hire you to do a feature film, they're going to want to know that you've done a feature film. Come with a short film, you're going, every kid out of college have a short film. Like, show me that you've done a feature, because that takes endurance. So, that's my opinion. Don't do more than 5, because you waste your favors.
That there's that, but also go back to, you're so like, just the as I say, I keep saying, the procedure that JCDC put you through. You're a different type of filmmaker than many on the ground, because everybody knows how to write a film and take forever or take as long as they want it and so on. Timeline. Get this done. Get it done good. Get it done now. You see what I say? And get it done. You know what I say? So you're ahead of a lot of people. So if you write a feature film, you can go, we need to finish write this in a month. And you actually get it done in a month, because you kind of have that training. It's like military. You know what I'm saying?
Really? You're spot on with that, man. Spot on.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, that's a big project. 26, 27, or maybe 26 if the budget comes through the way it's supposed to come through. But that's the big focus right now as well.
Who would you cast for this film? Do you even have the script?
I have the outline for the script. I actually have the 2 lead actor and actress already. So yeah, just some other details I need to work out.
What's the genre?
Dramatic
thriller.
Oh,
Kevin, him can't go too hard in him Christian. Yes. See the roadblock them. It's there.
I wouldn't agree.
Am I gonna force them until wait, don't Kevin. Am I gonna force them until pastor say, hey, oi.
Why do you think a Christian film can't go hard?
No. I joke me, but no man. Dude,
because
talk about Angel, talk about Angel Network.
No, I was gonna say there are things in the Bible hardcore than some action movie.
Oh, you
Like,
mean, of course.
Yeah, bro. Some
Yo,
crazy things go on.
You remember Ben Hur?
Ben-Hur, the film.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Even Ten Commandments and
Oh, yeah.
and so that like
Love those films.
yeah, man. Some crazy, but they were crazy violent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go on that type of tangent of war and stuff, but let's just say Christianity kind of the bloodiest religion of them all.
I would say the probably the Islamic.
The Islamic.
But
But we're talking about like back then when they used to kill you because Christian war. Yeah,
let me say the Old Testament is definitely quite graphic.
graphic. Okay, yeah.
Sure, for sure.
We're just saying there's grounds there to explore, sir.
Oh, for sure. Like, yeah. For me, the borders are probably wider than you would expect. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't see a box as you might think. I worked on a film in summer, written by Joel, and I did like production and so on it, and it's a horror film, and it digs into some darker realities that you might find some Jamaican women involved in. And it will soon be out. I don't want to go too much of it, no, but it leans heavily into the dark side of what a woman
You shot it?
through
You
to
shot
keep
it already?
a relationship. Shot already. Yeah, done like 2 screenings and got some great reviews.
Oh, remember saying we have the passion of Christ, Remember, I remember say people not like that,
When I saw Passion of Christ, I left that cinema like different. Because before I used to be like, yo, why everybody made this big deal, about, Jesus dying on the cross. I mean, he's God's son. Like, if everybody never did anyway, like, come on. But then when I watched the movie, like, I was just like, yo, why did we make him suffer like this?
Bro, Jesus died, bro.
I was like, why were the Jews so mean to him? They were his people. Why?
Jesus died, bro. Like, proper dead, bro.
I know. I left the cinema. I left the cinema and I was like, we are so ungrateful. Like, man, look what this man went through. He didn't have to go through this.
Yeah, exactly. You needed to see it. You needed to see the gruesome nature of it, being tortured and then like dying by asphyxiation, like suffering to breathe and all. Like,
But
it's gruesome.
But the truth is, are probably even worse than that.
Exactly. You're probably worse than that.
Yeah, because we're not the one that's making these Jesus films. Because first of all, we grew up. I don't want to go into a religious thing. My brain is tangenting.
No.
But no. The point, no. Wait.
We know. You have a pen and pad in front of you?
I can.
Or you have notebook on you?
Yeah.
Your computer?
Yeah.
Just write this down. We need to have a religious film or faith-based film podcast because we're not doing enough faith-based films in Jamaica. I definitely want the one. I came up with one the other day. I'm gonna write it. I'm probably gonna try to sell it though because it's big.
Yeah. So
bigger than me.
Experience the magic of live stories. Ever wondered what goes into crafting the next great film or stage play? At Unscripted Sundays, you don't just watch, you become a part of the process. Discover exciting new stories from talented writers and see actors bring them to life, all in real time. Your feedback helps shape the next big hit. Unscripted Sundays is brought to you by Yardbridge Entertainment in association with Johnny Life Productions. Unscripted Sundays, fresh stories, raw talent, real reactions.
what we dare say is we grew up first of all with Jesus on the almanac, right? Calendar, as Americans would call it, and he's a Caucasian Jesus, right? That's the first thing we see, right? We don't know what he may be, what color he may be, to be very honest. So we've been from them time that we are watching, hearing, and hear everything about Jesus, and is what we see. 10 Commandments is what we get with with that guy. but we don't know if that guy was probably black or so on. So I say, so we're not getting real stories. It's just what Hollywood is making. So now now you have a filmmaker that is literally a rebel against the damn system, right? To the point where they push him out. I just recently he made another film, right? The old aeroplane film, right? But he made the film that, and him even, that's when you knew the real Christians, the one them a ball out. I said, no man, not my Jesus. Not my Jesus, you can't do him so. But in real life, like what really did happen to Jesus? Brother, bro, the man probably get way worse than that, bro. Way worse than that, bro.
So he most likely did, because historically, and I don't want us to dive too much into this right now, because that's not what this podcast is about. But
this is what the Passion of the Christ did. This is what the film calls us.
Exactly right. But historically, when you look at crucifixion was one of the most embarrassing things you could do to somebody. It was like the lowest of the low. Like it was so bad that Romans were even told not to even say the word, because it's just it's like
meaning.
It's humiliating. It's very, very demeaning, So the fact say Jesus, it was even crucified. It was like saying, yo, Jesus, you're the lowest of the low. Remember saying get hung with some thief and rapists and murder.
Right.
And to the point where even them as criminals say, oh, you up here. Like the things are me do compared to
it's
you.
Like,
why are you here? Yeah, like why are you here? Right? To the point where even I'm trying to remember which one of his disciples, if it was Peter or next one, when they were crucifying him, my you'd come big and bold and say the whole time just, oh, we're not gonna crucify me. We're not gonna give me this glorious distinction like what you did to my Lord. And then go, no, we're gonna crucify upside down. Right?
Yeah.
Because like at that point it's like, yo, Jesus died on the cross and everybody revered him. So Peter's just like, oh wow, we're gonna die like my Jesus, that nice man. And I'm saying, upside down for you. Like, so yeah, it was most likely worse, because they might do some things to you where everybody was like, yo, me no want to get crucified, because that's shameful, but so
man.
But yes, I digress.
Yeah, man, it had to be done for the saving of the world, man. My mama is a pastor, so I have to represent this.
Who's a pastor?
Yeah, my mom, I'm a PK, as they call it, pastor.
Okay. So all that to say is, and I've said it to Kevin before, we just need more faith. We need more faith-based films. Because I remember, a couple of years ago, I went and stayed by some people. And, brother, I'm tell you something, I did it for about 2-3 weeks. I really can't watch nothing. All them watch are faith-based and them strictly Christian. So Christian, them sleep with the light on. If me see one speck of light in my dark place, I trip. I just start tripping, because me just like my space dark when me asleep. Them sleep with light. One night them bust in and say, yo, why you have the light? Why the light off? What you mean? Sleep me asleep. Or if you sleep with light on. So they don't like anything scary. Nothing. So I made a short film in that time through the collective. I don't know if you have seen it. It's called Wrath.
Yeah.
Brother, the film is not what you think it is. Just get through it. May I tell you, so the first frame, the girl watching her dog. And she said, stabbing. No, I can't watch this. Turn it off.
Yeah. That's too much.
So when Tariq made his film, I sent it to them and they loved it.
Something wholesome and happy.
Something open and happy.
Make us all feel well, yeah.
But as I told Kevin before, there's a market for that. You know what I mean? There's a market. So we have to also, as Jamaicans, create another faction of work just for people like that want to see that. I follow Angel, whatever you call them, the Angel channel.
Yeah.
And they're making some the thing is, you can push the art form as far as you want to push it. All them not do is them not cussing it. Then them not do nothing gruesome, but they do tell the gruesome stories some of the time. Even sci-fi films they're doing now. So you know, the the bandwidth is there, or the dynamic range is there for you to play with, bro. I say, but we do adapt I think feature film. And
Yeah,
if
for real. And of course, like Christian films have a bad rep over time, because of like the quality, the
Yeah.
storytelling, and so on.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I
They're
think in
getting
more
better though.
recent times I've seen some that are like making a headway and standing out, which is great. Like you
Yeah,
can't tell it's
yeah.
a like Christian film in essence.
Right, yeah, yeah. No, they're getting much better. And I saw Ruth and Boaz the other day, and it looked good. It looked good,
Yeah.
and the acting was good. I was surprised. Like when I saw Tyler Perry's name, I was like, Tyler Perry. But I realized the other guy that's a part of it, he was the one who did War Room and some other things. And honestly, because I used to teach script writing at NCU, and I used to teach. One of the requirements was that I had to teach faith-based films. So I would always reserve 1 or 2 classes to talk about faith-based films. And the first class, I would basically start off talking about why faith-based films suck, right? Because at the time, a lot of them were just bad.
Yeah.
So we got into deep analysis as to why they were bad. We watched a few of the popular ones at the time. And then now by the second class now, I start to talk about a few of the good films and talk about how to make them better, because one of the problems that was happening at the time, and this is why I loved Ruth and Boaz, because I hope I pronounced Boaz's name right.
Yeah, man, you got it.
Oh, okay, cool. Is that, and this is what I told the students, I said that the problem with a lot of the faith-based films that existed before is that they didn't focus on conflict. There wasn't any real conflict. There wasn't any real struggle. It's like, them have a little problem and then pray and the problem gone.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, this is not reflecting what really happens. And it's a misconception. Like when you go to church, a lot of people say, oh, God answers all my prayers. I pray and everything just gone. And and it's like, that's not the reality for 95% or 99% of Christians. Your life still hard. Like you pray. And sometimes that prayer might take months, it might take years, it might whatever. And part of it is because the answer, you're not ready for the answer yet, or it's just not time for the answer you want, or the answer is just no, whatever the case is, or you have to go through some struggle. And I showed them, I said, if you look at the Bible, I said, look for a story in the Bible that never involves struggle. Look for a story in the Bible where somebody just pray and then problems go away. When you look at Job, Job didn't live some rough life.
Brother, there's a lot of hero's journey in that Bible.
Yeah, holy hero's journey.
There's a lot of hero's journey, bro.
It's a journey, yo. It's a journey.
Bro, even
everything.
Dog, even the bridge in there.
Remember, bro. After Moses freed the people, they after wandering in the wilderness for 40 years,
right?
Bro,
what
so their life never
like literal 40 years.
But brother, what I forget. No, I was just saying. I forget who it is. Sorry, Pastor Kid.
Yeah. Oh no.
My thing rusty right now. But what was the guy that was married to this lady, and she just couldn't have a kid, and God have to tell him, say, yo, go breed she.
Yeah.
And then the other and grow the kid. Like, that is crazy.
Yeah, I know the story you're talking about.
Right? That is crazy, right? And one of the things we talked about earlier, Kevin, is while I was there with these ladies watching these Christian films or whatever films, faith-based films or Hallmark films, I could see the plot point coming from a mile, not even a mile away. I saw the plot point from the start of the film.
Right.
And it just
and that was part of the problem, because in the early days of faith-based films, they weren't made by filmmakers. They were made by pastors.
Yeah.
Pastors who just want to bring across a message and make them congregation feel good.
Yeah.
And so the stories more sounded like sermons rather than actual. Right. They become very preachy. Right. Because remember, they're trying to sell this narrative of, become a Christian and pray and your life will sort out. And the truth of the matter is, one of the things that people will tell you is, when you become a Christian, it probably get harder. Because you have to understand, say you see right now, if you're secular, the devil good with you. The devil say, yeah man, enjoy your rap music,
Yes.
and yeah man,
You're not
like,
a threat.
but
Like,
nah, yeah man, you're not. But you see, the minute you go, so I said, yo, may I turn to Jesus and I'm gonna get baptized. At that time, the devil said, oh, you know, I'm back,
Straps left, right, center.
Watch me, yo. Your time go flat today. When the day you're supposed to go on a job interview, then watch how your time go flat.
Yeah, every day is an inciting incident, you know.
Yeah, man, because he might try sabotage you. So it get harder, right? And a true Christian will know that. And like I said, in the Bible, it is going to be very hard for you to find a story where the main character is not struggling, because there are challenges and them have to overcome. And so, when you're watching a story, any story, it don't matter if it's faith-based or not, if your character is not going through challenges, the story is not going to be interesting. Right? If I say, hey, Lecky, say, we go down the road today for go buy some bully beef, and we find $100 on the ground, and we say, yes, we can buy bully beef and bread now, and we come home and, yeah, man, dinner sort out, you be like, oh, okay.
Like what?
But if I say to you now, say, yo, so we go for go buy bully beef, and someone hold me up and take me last $1,000, and we supposed to come back a yard and make sure say picnic get feed, and I mean, I no money for do this and so me have to run up and down and beg a man him squeegee and start wipe window, and you have to see the people them face with me and I fling kind after me and all that. I blow their horn, and like the story gets interesting at that point, because your thing now is like you're going, so what you want to know is, did you get the money? Did you eventually get the money for buy the bully beef and go home and whatever? Like, that's what you are waiting.
Overcome these obstacles.
That's what we want to know, because if you think about it, most of the time when people turn to the Bible is for what?
Yeah.
To solve a problem, find a solution to a problem, because they might have a challenge. So they're looking for a story with somebody with a similar challenge to see how they overcame that, right?
Yeah.
If the answer was always, I prayed and it went away, then we wouldn't need the Bible. Just say, oh, I know the answer already. I don't need to go in there. I know the answer already. I'm just going to go pray, and by tomorrow, my sick foot healed, right? My broke foot healed, my good, right? So the story started to take on that form. It started to take on the form of, it's a real challenge. I had to really, really, struggle to get through it. And the whole point is that you have to maintain your faith throughout the struggle. Because remember, what the devil are trying to do is the devil are trying to get you to give up, right? And that's why you have to try and maintain your faith throughout the struggle, right? Till God do what he have to do. But because the devil knows, say, man, most say you're going to give up. Most say I'm going to go to the Obia man and pay.
You now go through the journey,
Yeah, man. That's what I want. And then as soon as you go to Obia man, everything fixes. You say, see, there, the Obia man do it. Right? But when the devil say, yeah, man, I catch your back. Right?
No,
so that's the thing, They're getting better now because actual writers, actual directors are working on these faith-based films.
So my question is, because it may come normal to us, because we are more secular, even though Kevin goes to church, we're more secular. So we can write
my life to Jesus and I'm baptized.
We are more secular. So a lot of things may come normal to us where we can just write anything that comes to our brain. Zane, probably for you, it's normal for you to just write a story. But you ever think sometime you write something and you go, Jaja, say damn for the da. But then you go, yeah, but that's too far. That's too far. Like, do you get those when you're coming up with ideas?
Yeah. So it's something that thankfully I haven't wrestled enough with. Meaning, like, I'm okay with like crossing certain lines for the storytelling, for like that bigger meaning or purpose if the story needs it. So a film I worked on last year, It was called The Undertow. It's heavily inspired from the Cain and Abel story in terms of just like, brother killing brother, that sort of thing. And of course, that was in JCDC as well. And it's a story that might have challenged me a bit to be like, should I go with this ending? Even though, of course, I can justify it by the Bible, from that point of view. And I thought about it and I'd be like, for the sake of the story, I have to be like, true to the story and actually go through it. If I look at a bigger challenge that I might face as wanting to like preserve a sort of holiness in the film I work on, it would probably be more along the line of how heavy I go with like something like expletives, for example, or how heavy I'd go with like certain the debauchery or like explicit scenes. Like those things I'd definitely like not even think to write sometimes because I don't even want to entertain the struggle. I'm thinking maybe there's a better way, maybe there's like a creative way to still get the meaning across, make an impact without having to lean into what seems to be like the art of the day with like every other film, and leaning into the sex sells kind of mindset. But yeah, for me, I try not to even entertain the idea. I try to immediately find a solution before even going there.
Question. Insinuate, or if that's a proper word, or what's the word man I look for, Kevin, where you can it's like you show the act of sex or something without actually showing them having
Insinuated.
insinuate.
Insinuate is right. Yeah.
So I mean, we actually learn that and we do that, and there's ideas that sometimes you just can't write a sex scene, so you just have to show some other action or some other thing, or just cut to black or something, or just show one little thing, fade off,
Yeah.
right? When it comes to bad words, cuss words, and you go in, you're not thinking in this way because you're Christian. You're really Christian, so you don't already think to cuss, right? But there's these few places where you go, this punctuation we work just perfectly right here, right now. I'm not doing a bunch of exposition. I can just boom. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Stop talk to me. Like, I know the way to write these things. I know how to think this way, but. And there's also subtext where you don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
Just offer the energy or somebody looking at you. So how do you and there's different type of writers. There's people that give you exposition but they do it smartly. And there's people that just give you exposition. And then there's people that sometimes you have to find
Visual
it.
storytelling.
You just have to find it and you go, what is it? Oh. What is your style?
Yes, so I've explored both of them. I've just worked on a film that has a lot of exposition. This was like me challenging myself to say, if I were to go heavy into writing dialogue, like how good I would be. So I have a film like that, and thankfully, from the feedback I've gotten, like nobody else like, oh, them chat too much, or like it was too much exposition. So like I did a fairly decent job, I think, with it. There's another film that I worked on in the summer that has like probably like 4 lines of dialogue. So the entire film, it's like six minutes visual storytelling throughout. So I definitely tried to find the balance between the best of both worlds. I mean, I, of course, want to lean more into the medium, which is visual, and like use words when I need to. And of course, whenever words are being used, are leaning into subtext more than anything else. When it comes to something like expletives now, you're right. Well, the punctuation, like this, like that can make a solid punctuation in any film. Like I think of some I've heard in like other films that I was like, okay, I see why it needed that. I see the sense it make. For me though, I try to approach it a little differently. I think the English language have enough words that I can navigate and lean into even more subtext to probably say more to do something like that. So I try to avoid it honestly. Shot a film for somebody else that has it, and actually in the final cut, I cut out. It had like one expletive, and I cut out that expletive, and nobody missed it.
It was crazy when my proper initial college, we had to make a film, and you only had one F to give, literally, and you only could use F in that film one time. So you had to find exactly where you want to use it. I use
Nice
it.
challenge.
I'd use it, right? But as you say, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just not needed. It's not needed, and there's just other ways to tell that part of the story without.
Yeah, like I watched too many great films that was never a concern, and like I still leave and be like, yo, wow, amazing, and that was never like an issue. So I know that it's possible essentially.
Yeah, no, it's definitely possible. I mean, the last feature film I wrote, there are definitely bad words in it, but that's because of the nature of the characters. But generally speaking, I try to avoid using bad words just because I don't think it's necessary. Like for me, it have to be necessary to have to be a part of the character. If
Yeah,
it's not, I'm not going to just throw a bad word in there just because this is a good opportunity to shock people or whatever the case is. Um, it's and I do actually look at the count of the bad words as well. So like when I'm rereading the script, I'm like, why there's a lot of cussing them? They need to cuss this much? Like most can take out 2 or 3 of these. Like you don't need to cuss so excessively. Even though he's a bad man, I'm more than likely when I say like, we as the audience get the point. We don't need 5 bad words.
yeah. At some point,
Two
it has to
pages.
start feeling like inauthentic. It's like, yeah, who really
Yeah.
talks this much? Unless it's like a character, it's like that's his whole character, maybe. You know,
I do.
No, so
it's
again,
like
some people
that's
do.
lucky.
Some people do. Some people
Is
do.
the man say like?
Yeah, real.
But the thing is, I don't write that much bad words at all. I think about the character and how the character would talk and how they would emote and go, okay, cool. But naturally, like the same colorist bread I was talking to you earlier about. I just watched a podcast with him. I thought I cuss a lot. Bro, like every other word, bro, he just kept getting bleeped. And I was just like, I didn't know what to cuss this much. But it's you, but you don't need to write it. It's not needed. You see
Yeah,
me? I say every other word. But the thing is, there's films with some actors, the character, not actors, the character, that's just very expletive, right? And very just dirty. And that's just how they talk. And that's just
yeah.
their character. You see me? I say? I mean, you've seen Chappie? You've not seen Chappie with a robot, with the guys from South Africa.
I don't think so.
Right? But
Need to look up that.
and it's a band that's in it. The girl and the
Yeah.
guy from a band, and you know what I mean. That's just how they talk. That's how he talks. Ninja, I think his name, artist name is Ninja, but that's just how them talk. That's how them do them thing. But as you say, yeah, what make us better writers is I'm a writish, but no one call myself a writer. But what I'm a writish, I can write stuff. But the thing is being able to maneuver around certain subject and find different ways to tell
Yeah,
it instead of
like one of the things I
blunt.
love. Yeah, yeah. As I said, that is like it just kind of bring me back to the one of the things I love about dialogue is subtext, and like I witnessed something like that in film, and I'm just like in awe, and so like I'm always trying to upgrade my subtext in whatever thing I'm creating.
As you say, you had a thing that had just four lines of dialogue. You said
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How long was that film? Or that short or whatever?
Like 6 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Cause
that's short.
I mean, one of my favorite films is the film with Ryan Gosling. Kevin, remind me what the name. Ryan Gosling, and he barely talks, but he's like so dangerous.
Driver?
Norman, same director. Um, same director, and
Stunts?
no, it's not
No,
stunts.
I'm the chat nothing at the stunts.
He barely talk, bro, and he's just this killer. He's like in Thailand or somewhere, right? But there's him barely talking at the show, but dude, that guy deadly, deadly. You don't even want him talk, and it was just like Driver. He talk in Driver. He talk enough in Driver. He talks when him need for talk. Him talk, but this show him not talk at all. Him not talk at all. And that's the thing of showing, still telling a story without saying much.
Yeah.
And then that film,
Yeah. Because even as you said that, like as a Jamaican filmmaker, somebody who lives in Jamaica and creating films based in Jamaica for the most part, like I've seen enough talking in films in Jamaica. Like sometimes they get a bad rep off, like, all right, let me do this. All right, make a go down here. So, like, sometimes the dialogue I found largely to be lacking. And so there's just like too much talking. So I'm trying to not be among that crowd for sure.
yeah, it's called Only God Forgives. And dude, minimal talking. And the film, mad. Brutal. It's very brutal. It's a lot of fighting. Very bloody. But only God forgives. So yeah. What else, brother? What else you can keep give us before you touch out?
Well, do you guys know about Curious Curious by chance? I'm not sure if you're familiar with that film.
What?
Which film?
Well, yeah, that's the right response. Like, what? Curious Curious.
What?
Yeah, that's an actual word, I promise. And I'm looking
Curious?
Curious Curious.
Is that a
Yes.
film? What is this?
Yeah, man, that's a film. That's a film that. So I'm get the history of it, Zine. So
Where is
you
it?
guys know Jodie and Maxwell. When Jodie and Maxwell won the script spelling bee, first black female to ever do this, her winning word was Curious Curious. Cool? Back in 1990s. Yeah.
How you spell that? How you spell that?
I watched that live, you know. I actually watched that live.
Oh, the whole of Jamaica watched that live. She did it. She even came to my church, bro. And I was like, who that? She who me think that is? Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man, but yeah, so well, and it's even like a technique in like lighting as well. Using.
Oh, you're talking about that word. Okay, the Italian word. Okay.
So the curious is the person who does the painting and so on. So yeah, so last year, and even circling back to what you were saying earlier, Kevin, about like the benefits to like just creating and entering into some festivals. So we entered that film written by Joel. He was abroad at the time. I was out here shooting, doing production on it. So we entered it into a Caribbean-wide competition, the Paradise 48 Film Festival. 3 days, 48-hour film festival. Right Friday, you get the prompt and so on Friday, shoot Saturday, edit, upload Sunday. So we entered that film, Curious, in that festival. Only submission from Jamaica. It originated in the BVI. BVI? Yeah, BVI, a bit, I think, or either BVI or USVI, one of the VIs. But it originated there, open to the Caribbean, and we entered and we won. And the film that we entered was Curious. So it was also like a film noir kind of style, and we play with like colors and so on. But a big part of that competition was of course the prize fund, which was like because we never have any money, like it was 5,000 US, so that meant a lot, of course. So it came with that, and then some of the features and the write-ups as well that came out from that was like a big deal. That hey, we're on a Caribbean-wide 48-hour film festival. It's a solid film. It's out on YouTube as well that you can see it.
See, that again is another.
You need to spell it to
But no, no,
Yes,
man, I find the word, but I don't find the film because I guess it's his. But the thing
no,
is,
it's public. It's on YouTube. We have to like type it.
send it to us so we can
Yeah, man,
play it
definitely.
over some of these things. Actually,
yeah.
send us, yeah, send us your reel also so we can play it over all of this.
Definitely.
Also the that is one more thing is, bro. You see when you enter these competitions, like even 48-hour film competitions, bro, it puts your mind in a different place. It makes you a different type of filmmaker. And the guys that enter that all the time and do well, they're a different type of filmmaker. Those are the guys where you can go, I need an idea done now. Them don't need to finish it this week, but you can give them a month and them say, yeah man, we can knock out something fast for you. Don't know if it's gonna be done well, but them brain work fast. And as I said, just like the JCDC plus that 48 film festival thing, 48 hour, your brain is a different type of brain, bro. Like a lot of people cannot do that. Or even if they can, them just not ready for that type of filmmaking.
Yeah, so it's pushing it to be creative at each stage of the level and be creative fast. Like you're trying to write something good fast, shoot something good fast, go into post production fast. So we won best film for that competition. I won best score as well, and the lead actress won best actress for that competition. So we walk away like 3 awards, which was pretty cool.
All right.
Sadly,
I have
it hasn't gotten enough attention in Jamaica. Like as you were even saying earlier, like I've reached out to a couple platforms to get some write-ups and recognition for it, but that's its own story.
Oh, we have a whole thing about that where you kind of have to pay for yourself to get recognition when somebody is from out of the country get recognition for free. Yeah, you've watched that podcast with
Oh yes,
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, watch how you enter some of these competition. It may just be too good to enter.
No, that's real. That's real. Yeah, like I'm not sure if you're familiar with like Tempa Network, which is like a Caribbean thing. Like it was featured there. No feature
actually, I have seen Curious. I do know that
oh.
I'm playing. I'm like, oh yes, this
Oh,
film.
you see
Is
this?
this
Awesome.
Deidre Wadsworth?
Yeah, she's one of the lead actress in there. And
Yes,
Danaya
I
Brown.
do remember this.
Yeah, man, so that's 48 hours. Gruesome, but we created something special in the short time.
I don't know. Were you finished answering your question? Because I have one last question here before we close off.
Yeah. Well,
If you know. All right. So this is a two-part question. What was it like working with Deandra and Deidre? And who would you like to work with next and why?
that's a good one, Kevin. I wish I could show you the BTS of working with Danger and DJ. Some pretty solid moments. I'm really
two of
happy.
them are great actresses, and at the same time, two of them are some serious comedians.
Exactly. They shocked me at first. Like in terms of just how they respond to knowing where the camera is and just knowing how to even like play to the camera and not at certain points. Like they were really impressing me on the next level. Like we did airport in like a week, a week roughly, and we were shooting up some late nights. And so we had to see the commitment from them as well. So they wanted to sleep, but they were pushing and nailing lines and just nailing performance. So for more than anything else, I think they really inspired me as to like what's possible from like some committed people locally. So that was definitely a standout. So I'm always ready to work with them. Thankfully, I've been able to work with them as well on other projects since. But every time they inspire me and they just nail the performance. So you wanted to know like a actor actress that I wanted to work with next? Um, one of the dream is Daniel Kaluuya. Uh, if you want somebody local, I can give you somebody local, but that's the big dream. I'm a big fan of things like Get Out. I'm a big fan of just him as an actor. Yeah, but did you want somebody local?
Somebody local, yes, and somebody international, but you give us an international already.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, uh, I've been a fan of this young lady for a while. Never met her, but I've seen her in a couple of things, and I was like, I feel like I could write something for her. It's Chantal Jackson. I think that is her last name as well. I'm not sure if there's any relation.
All right,
No,
Kevin,
there's no-
Kevin, make sure you text Chantel and tell her say somebody
The
want
man,
right
big
her
fan.
or something.
I don't even know if I still have her number.
No, man. No, that was a joke. You know what surprised me? I went on a set. Hold on, Kevin. Was it on Silver Silhouettes? She came on and she was PAing. She came on a set. I don't know if it's Silver, but she came on a set and she was a PA. And I was like, hold on, wait, what is she doing here? And she was like a PA, bro. Like, and that tripped me out because I was like, this is like now the Miss Jamaica of acting for Jamaica, you know?
No woman in Jamaica would beat you for that.
Enough woman want beat me already.
No, let me tell you. No, let me tell you. A lot of people bad mind Chantal. I don't know why. I think she's great, but there are a lot of people who are like, she alright.
No fun.
You know what?
Fun.
Yeah, no,
Chantal, a lot, no, please. I'm here.
All right. Well, if I ever run into her again, I will definitely tell her that, hey, there's a filmmaker named George Malcolm really wants to work with you.
Yes, please.
Yes. And in the meantime, we have Kira.
Mm-hmm.
And Kira is great.
Yeah,
So, you know,
Kira.
and they were in the same movie. Yes, they were in the same movie
recently in something. I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
man.
where have you been hiding?
There you go.
Sorry,
There you
she
go.
blew my socks away recently.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Great.
Kira is phenomenal.
There you go, bro. I remember, them get bigger if I see a movie in a springtime,
Mm-hmm.
If you have seen springtime,
Yes, yes.
So you understand them get bigger if I see them film. So
Yeah. And I had the pleasure of choreographing her for fight scenes where she played Nanny in Origins, Kurt Wright's Origins.
Kira.
That was great because she's no man, Chantal.
Chantal, okay.
Yeah, man, Chantal is a very dedicated talent.
Hold on, wait. Chantal is in Origins.
Yeah, she's in Origins. She plays Nanny.
Wow, I didn't know she's been acting that long. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's crazy. Just
Remember, Chantal was in the first Propeller. She was in a film called Sugar. Not Sugar Cake, Sugar.
No, I don't.
Different
Okay.
films.
Because
the one where she was saving up for an exam, and her mother thief her money, and
oh yes,
work in a hotel.
And I work in a hotel. That single shot, Garrett Coburn, bro.
Yes.
That movie broke my brain. I love how that movie feel, bro. Because it's the same year they did Kinto. Oh, no, he did Kinto that year they too. But Kinto is not in Propeller. Okay, wow. Well, yeah, dog. That's good. That
was my last question. I don't know if you have another question, Becky, before we.
Me? No, does Mr. Gio? The man named George Malcolm Walker. I don't know. He just sound too professional, my G. Sound too professional. But you have any question for us? And listen, Kevin, he's an avid watcher / listener of the podcast. So we have
he told me today.
Yeah, we have a solid. I don't want to call you a fan, but a solid watcher. which is great, and I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, yo, like I'm grateful to be here. Like over the moon, like I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. As I
Yeah.
say, it's a niche. You have a niche, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we saw a gap in the space. There are other film podcasts, but we realized that a lot of them die early. And we just decided, we're gonna do a podcast and just stick to it and be consistent. And because for me, so I'm doing my PhD in communication studies. I have a master's in media management. And it's funny, people ask me, why are you doing that? Why are you doing research? Why are you doing more education? And the reason I started doing the master's, because I got my degree in 2003, right? Computer science. And I didn't do my master's until 20, was it 20 or something like that?
20 alone say a lot.
Exactly, right? I didn't see the purpose of it. But what ended up happening was like when I started teaching, they were like, in order for you to get a good pay as a teacher and to stay on staff, you need a master's because they don't really like when lecturers have just a degree. Because the belief is that, you're teaching people a degree. You can't have the same level of qualification as what you're teaching them to be. You need to be a step above that. So I said, all right, I wanted to do a master's, but I always wanted to do a master's in either writing, directing, or animation.
Mm.
And every single master's I could find was just super expensive. The closest one I could find was still expensive, but was not as expensive as the others. And I was just like, boy, where am I gonna find this money? Where am I gonna find this money? And people were like, why don't do an MBA? I said, I don't want to do an MBA. I want to do something connected to media.
Mm.
And then I was told about the media management program up at UA, and I carried back and I said, all right, let me do that. While doing that, I quickly learned that Caribbean people are just not doing enough research. Caribbean people are not documenting themselves. They're not doing, especially in media specifically, we're not doing a lot of podcasts about media. We're not doing a lot of research about media. When you start searching for research papers, when you start searching for podcasts, everything is just outside of the Caribbean. So I say, I need to contribute to the Caribbean. I need to put things in place where at some point in time, a film student or just a independent filmmaker book up this podcast and look and go, look at all of these topics they're talking about. Look at all these people they're interviewing. Let me watch these podcasts and learn a thing or two. And,
Yeah.
The hope
That's
is that...
my experience,
Yeah. And the thing is that even if they find this podcast 10 years from now or 20 years from now, it will be a window into the past. They can look back and go, whoa, that's where George Malcolm come from. Whoa, that's where, because it's fascinating to me when you're watching somebody now, and then when you get a chance to see where they were 20 years ago, you're like, you were pulling out carpets out of the floor? Like, big
That's
actor
real.
like you?
Yeah, that's real.
Or you look on a filmmaker's first film and you're like, you made this crap? Like, you? Like, whoa, I did not know that. Or you were starving in Somalia and then you became a filmmaker? How did this? Like, those things fascinate me. And what even fascinates me more is when you look back in time and you see either how archaic the technology was, but yet they still created a great film, or how similar a technique is back then to now, and you go, wow, much hasn't changed. Like, that stuff is great to me. Like, every time I watch Harder They Come, I'm like, Jamaica looks so different, but socially, Jamaica has not changed. It's the same Jamaica, just a different skin or different clothes, So that's what this podcast means to me. It's my contribution to the media space where filmmakers can find information. When I was coming up as a filmmaker, there wasn't much information out there. It's like if you're never in the circle or know the right people, you would never know what's going on. And they don't necessarily share with you. Maybe they don't know or they don't want to share with you business information.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Those things.
Yeah,
That's the purpose of the podcast.
and again, I'm a testament to it. And as you say, like, sadly, as a country, we don't document enough, and I'm appreciating now that this is more Caribbean wide. But yeah, we don't document enough, and I think, like, it feels so hard sometimes. It feels like it's a selected few that have the information locally sometimes, and you have to just like know one or two person to figure out these things, or trust that somebody from some other country can teach you how to maneuver this industry. So, which is why, like, something like this, I think is so great. I tell you, I've learned so much. I've gotten to know some more about the people in the industry that's doing great things locally and outside of Jamaica. So I see the great value in it. Even as you mentioned, like research, I'm in a process now. I wrote an abstract for a conference recently, and I got selected. So I'm doing the research now on what it's called augmenting creativity in terms of like what that might mean for Jamaica as things like AI becomes more of a thing. And so I'm in the process of doing the research. So I might probably link you guys to see if I can get you to be a part of that research paper, because I have to like do it and present it at this conference in November. So I'm trying to sort that out. But yeah,
Nice.
I'm right there with you, because as I say, it's making a difference right here. So and I trust that it's making it outside of even Jamaica right now.
Yeah, that is the hope, man. That is the hope. But yo, glad for having you on tonight. Thank you very much for making the time. I thought this was a fruitful conversation. We went all over the world in this conversation.
We went religious for real.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
You're welcome.
Religious
Yeah,
for
man.
real.
But yeah, man, keep doing the great things that you're doing. Everybody listening, if you like this podcast, please just like, share, leave a comment, right? Make George know you appreciated this podcast. And George, we're going to put your IG handles and stuff on the screen when we edit it.
Wait there.
Right, Mr.
Wait there.
Editor?
Are you voluntarily just giving me work?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. You will find his IG handles. From now on, we'll be doing that with everyone.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, man, I
yeah,
respect the invite.
Yes.
Yeah, people, bless up, and see you next time. We don't know who we're going to interview next or what topic we're talking about next, but if you liked the previous 20 odd podcasts before this, you will love the next one.
For sure. And we're out. Bam, bam, bam.
All right. We out.
Thank you for listening to the A New View podcast. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want more information on today's episode, check the show notes below if you are on a podcast platform, or the description if you are on YouTube. See you next episode.